Hello and welcome. My name is Matt, and of course, after saying that I'm going to stop phoning it in, what do? I still only put out one video for the week, and don't even have the presence of mind to record it on the weekend like I usually do. Well, to counterbalance my laziness, I have it on my to-do list to update my dashboard here, so that when it chooses a random stock for me to look at, the pool of stocks is weighted based on social media popularity. Yes, so when I do put out just one or two videos, they will at least more often than not be timely and relevant to ongoing stock market discussions that you, the general public, are having. Now, I haven't updated the dashboard yet to do this, so in the meantime, I'm going to be choosing popular companies myself to take a look at, and I personally can't think of one much more with much more chatter nowadays than TWTR. Yes, the tweeters. And and oh boy, do I have a lot to say about that whole situation. So this should be fun. Anyway, if you are unfamiliar with what a stock speedrun is, you can check this video's description as always for an explanation, and also as always a disclaimer, very important disclaimer as to its content. I got a lot of talking and editorializing to do here, so let's go ahead and get started with this train wreck of a company and this train wreck of a situation. And how can you even start with a situation without mentioning the whole Elon Musk thing? Like, that's why this is popular nowadays to talk about, and why it's in the news everywhere. First of all, I have to say that if you thought there was not a non-zero chance of this deal going through, if you thought it was foolproof, you are an idiot. I am sorry, but that is a near provable fact. Musk is a fairly good businessman. He's known to do kind of very suspicious things like this before. I personally gave it maybe like a 50% chance of going through. I do kind of wonder why it was he pulled out. Either he found out stuff about the bots. I know he kept screaming about the bots. He may have found out something he didn't like. He may not have been able to get the funding. You know, everyone says, he's got $100 gajillion. Why can he not do this? Well, it's not all liquid, you idiot. He has to go and sell stuff in order to buy stuff, and he couldn't sell too much stuff, otherwise Tesla goes pfft. All right? So he had to get funding somewhere else for the extra however many billion that he needed, and he might not have been able to get it. There's also the situation where a third thing that is falling out of my head now, and I don't remember. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, that's right. After he bought it, so it's probably a good time to look at this chart here, right? So after he decided to purchase it, it promptly started. So I think, if I was to guess, based on this chart, I would say right here is when he said that he was going to buy it. Okay? I'm not too sure what happened here on the 12th and the 13th of May to make it drop like that. I kind of want to figure that out. And there's no way I'm going to be able to find out what was going on in this sea of articles. Look, I've scrolled so far, and I'm only to yesterday, so that's apparently not going to happen. Maybe I can find out in the conversation section. It's probably not going to happen either. I might have to wait until phase 2 when I can use Google to find that out. But third possibility is that, stock dropped for whatever reason. Maybe it was his fault, maybe it wasn't. And then he's like, why am I paying $54.20? First of all, that price should have been the first indication that this deal was bullshit, because that is a meme price, if there has ever been a meme price. So whatever it was, he's like, well, it's sitting in the 40s, high 30s right now. Why should I pay out the ass in the 50s for something that the market apparently thinks is not worth that much? And I mean, I guess he's kind of got a valid point there. So I can see any of those three reasons being why he pulled out of the deal. There are also very interesting theories out there. One theory that honestly sounds pretty plausible to me is that this whole buying Twitter deal was a cover for him selling billions of dollars worth of Tesla shares for whatever reason. Because I'm pretty sure it is verifiable. I'm pretty sure that he sold a couple billion worth of Tesla to buy Twitter. But now he's not buying Twitter. Where did that money go? Where's the money, Elon? Where's the money? So that's kind of one interesting theory that I've heard, is that the whole Twitter debacle was basically just a cover for him selling a bunch of Tesla shares for whatever reason. Another question that I've seen, I'll get to the company Twitter itself in a second. All right. Another thing that I've seen, or rather that I've heard, is that what was that? What was I about to say? Damn it! It fell out of my head again. All right, you know what? Maybe it'll come back to me. Let me go ahead and start looking here. So, I think that when you look at Twitter now, and I'm gonna be looking at Twitter through this light, is that now that the whole Elon... Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Something else people have also said is that, is he going to be in legal trouble for this? I highly, highly doubt it. There's a lot of things that you can say about Elon Musk. He's crazy, he's a swindler, he's, I don't know, pick your poison. But one thing you can't say about him is that he's stupid. I can't imagine that he went through this whole thing without, lawyering up and down, sideways, forwards, in a little foolproof bubble. Okay? There is no way that he left any kind of loophole unturned. So they may be able to try legal challenges. I highly doubt it's going to be successful. Okay, what was I going to say? Yes. So now that this whole Elon debacle is finished, I feel like when looking at Twitter, it would be best to look at it as it was, because it's more or less the same company. I mean, it's still kind of a shithole. Twitter's a shithole if you ask me, in my opinion. But it was before he offered to buy the company, and now it is after he closed that offer. So not much has changed. Any opinions that you may have had, and I personally didn't have much of an opinion about it before the Elon deal, I haven't paid attention to it much, is it's the same company. So logistically, if you, dear viewer, had any opinions about this company prior to the deal, those opinions, I think, are still more or less valid after the deal. The only thing that I can think has changed, that something else that Elon did, is that he quote-unquote exposed the problem of bots. Now, I know that was a big issue he was screaming about. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm distracted by how much this guy here looks like Ryan Reynolds. Okay. I don't know exactly how... You know what? Is there any kind of article about bots here? I want to read about the bots. No, bots. A Twitter management on their own platform with bots meme overlooking court. What? No. Giant, he was upset at number of Twitter bots. So the only thing that I can think is different about the fundamentals of the company is how we have apparently, again, quote-unquote, proved or shown that there are more bots on Twitter than we thought, and maybe that means that Twitter has even been, kind of fudging their user numbers a bit over the years. So that's kind of the only thing that I think has changed, is that question is now up for debate. Get this weird face off my screen. Where does it talk about the bots? Or they told the audience that nobody believes Twitter's claim that bots are under 5% of the total usage. That does seem kind of low, to be honest. I would have guessed maybe between 10 and 20. tripled down on a decision to try to back out of the deal, and he's claiming it's about bots. This is kind of where I think that legal cover, because there's no way that the documents that were drafted didn't say something about bots, and that if it is not proven that the bot situation is under control, then he gets to back out of the deal. I think this whole bot situation is where a lot of the legal protection is going to come into play, in my opinion. Let's see, Mr. Wow, and this is a headline. Why? Nothing else to peddle. I mean, I found it useful, so shut up. Let's see what else is going on here. Assembles legal team. So, let me go take a look at the chart. Also, I'm taking a look at these earnings here, and this looks pretty terrible. I kind of wonder if they're ever going to get back to profitability. Well, actually, no. Here, look, they got profitability in Q4 and then Q1. So maybe they might be able to turn it around in 2022. Who knows? Yeah, I can't look past that second. When it comes to Twitter, I'd rather trade Tesla. With the theory that this was a cover to trade Tesla, I kind of wonder why he did that, or if that's true, why would he do that? Why would he sell Tesla? Surely he has faith in his own company. I think he does. Maybe there was something else, that he didn't want people drawing attention to that he was going to do with the money, and this was kind of this was a kind of a double cover, a cover for selling and also a cover for what he's going to do with the money. Because I haven't heard many people, aside from the ones touting that theory, of where did the money go? Where did that so-and-so $1 billion you sold to Tesla, where did that go? It doesn't just disappear. You're holding on to it now? Why are you holding on to it? You're a smart guy. You're not an idiot. Why are you just holding on to cash? Maybe it's the whole market thing. I know, cash is king right now, arguably. Let's see, what was I going to look at? I wanted to look at what happened on... Yeah, I know, Jesse, you're very upset that I'm not petting you right now. I want to look at what happened on May 13th. May 13th of 2020. Twitter deal temporarily... Oh, that's when he announced the hold. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I remember that. Before he officially... I'm getting news about Twitter on Twitter from Elon Musk. Oh, this is a credible source. I remember him bowing out. Or not bowing out. He only bowed out officially last week. But finding out that the deal was kind of on shaky ground now because he started complaining about the bots. Which, again, may or may not have been a legitimate complaint. I'm not entirely sure. Deal temporarily on hold. Okay, so I want to look at the year chart. I'm looking at the 5-year chart. I kind of wonder why it's had a downslide since July of last year. Something happened to it in October. Twitter news, October of 2021. Fall on report for U.S. user growth. We reported modest user growth and analysts. Actually, you know what? Where can I see user growth? Twitter user growth chart. Yes. That only goes up until Q1 of 2019. Where can I see more recent? That is 2018. This is, yes, year-over-year growth rates, quarterly breakdown. This is fine. I would have preferred a chart of overall users, but I guess a growth chart is fine. At least it goes up until fairly recently, goes up until Q3 of 2021. So it peaked, so it kind of makes sense that it, oh, damn it. This is what happens when you have cats on the keyboard. So, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I know. Just get that out of here. Stupid. So it kind of makes sense that it peaked in quarter 2 of 2021 or 2020, because what's everyone doing in quarter 2 of 2020? They're stuck at home. They have nothing else to do. What are they going to do? They're going to join Twitter and be degenerate with all the other idiots on there. So it kind of makes sense that it peaked there. It was on a... Jesse! Stop it! Don't get a cat. It's torture. I'm just kidding. Do get a cat. They're wonderful. Yeah, so, you know, you can say that about quarter 2, but there was an uptrend here before that. I still feel like COVID accentuated a little bit, and it's fallen off since then, back to nearly 2018 levels. So you know what I want to do? I want to go take a look at where it was in 2018. Right around here. Right around the same levels that it's at right now, so that makes sense. And actually, you know what? If I take a look at this chart... I'm gonna make this chart big. If I take a look at this chart over the past 5 years, and I take a look at this chart, which is over the past 5 years, these charts kind of track each other, don't they? A little bit. You got this hump here, and then kind of flat, and this big hump here, and back down here. You got this kind of hump here, and then kind of, you know, kangarooing here a bit. You got this big hump here, and it comes down here. Sounds like I'm describing dance moves. So it kind of does. Question is, where is it going to go? Growth outlook. Larger than expected growth in 2020 will only add in 20 million worldwide in 2022. That doesn't sound like a lot. Most ambitious quarter of user growth. Growth in the United States. Rally to take control. Not anymore. He doesn't. Okay. I probably did not look at as much I probably did not look at as much stuff as I should have. I spent a little too much time editorializing about the Musk deal and my thoughts on that. I apologize. Honestly, I'm not too sure if there's much that I could have read that would give me any reason to give this other than a sell. Because there's a lot of things that they would need to turn around for this to be a buy or even a hold in the short to mid-term. Maybe in the long term. I'm not entirely too sure about that. I still think it's... I'm kind of biased. I personally never saw the appeal in something like Twitter. I don't really see the appeal in much social media. I don't really do that stuff all that much. So, but that's me. And if I personally don't like something, I have a problem where I find it unfathomable that other people like it. So I'm probably not the best person to hold an opinion on a company like this. But just looking at the numbers on the face of it, I do want to hit this sell button. Based on what I just said, I do kind of wonder if that's my own personal bias coming into play with the fact that it's just not a company or a business model that I generally like or see myself seeing, and thus I have a hard time seeing other people seeing it. But there are people using it. There are people on Twitter. Now, that's you can argue if that's for better or worse, considering the content on that godforsaken platform. But there are people that are using it. You know, there are people that are using it. They're looking at ads, just how they make their money. That is how Twitter makes money, right? Ads. I know that's how Facebook makes money. Jeez, I feel like I'm a senator asking idiotic questions at a hearing. Yeah. So I don't think there's much that I could have read that would want me to stray from this from this sell button. The only argument that I can see for a hold is that since it is back to the same level that it was when it had the same level of growth in the past, that it is unlikely to fall any further. But why even take the risk? Why even hit this hold button and take the risk of it going down further when, if I had to choose, you know, my optimal choice would be that it's going to sit where it is. But if I had to choose and say, if you put a gun to my head, all right, and said, Matt, where do you think Twitter's going to go, up or down? It's like, oh, Mr. Gun Person, why can't I choose sideways? No, that's not an option. Oh God, I'm killing my throat doing the voice of the gun guy. if that situation happened, again, unlikely, but if that situation happened and I had a choice between up or down, I would say that the chance of it going down is more likely than it going up. Again, I think sideways is the most likely scenario, but I see a lot more reasons for it to go down than for it to go up in the short to mid term. So that's kind of why I don't want to hold, but I don't want to hold? No. That's why I don't want to click this hold button, because sure, you're going to hold on to it. It might go sideways, but why even risk it? Why even take the risk of it going down? Because I'll tell you what, it sure as hell ain't going up, at least not in my opinion. So that's kind of why I want to hit this. Well, actually, you know, something I should have looked at. Does Twitter pay a dividend? I don't think it does. You know, tell you what, I'm going to officially make my decision here, and then I'm going to cheat a little bit and go back and look here and see if I missed that. Oh, no, it does not. Okay, screw that. Sell for this. Not trash, but not exactly treasure either. Again, more sell because I don't think it's going to go anywhere. At least not anytime soon. So why even risk it? So why even risk losing money on it? It's not worth it in my opinion. And that's all I gotta say on the situation. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.